heels, and then Nielsen third, but 2.8 then for that 800 metres.
Yeah, I was really impressed by all three of those dealing with that pace change. As you were saying it then, it was 30, 36, 32, 30. That is a hard way to run a 2:08, but they all look strong doing that, and that for me gives me confidence for all three of those. We look towards the semi-final and the final.
Yeah, because you never know what's going to happen in the next round, but confirmation then of that Heat 2 800 metre result. Mekkonen 2.862, Cooper Gaspard 2.906, Nielsen 2.944, a PB for Samuel. The athlete refugee team 2.43.76, that's great result there. Amar 2.13.26 as well, so some great running in that second heat. Mentioned it before though, we did unfortunately have a disqualification in Heat 1. The Kenyan athlete, the winner, Chepkovsky, lane infringement. I thought I saw that, Hannah, on our replay. I wasn't going to say it because we had no confirmation. She runs on the line on the first 100 metres. You have to run it in your lane. It's just part of the rules, and then you break 100 metres, then you can run in any lane you like, usually the inside lane. Eritrean, there's been a question mark over her as well. So we're going to get confirmation if she made a mistake. She also made a mistake and was disqualified. So two athletes in there. They need to really be aware of the rules.
Chebet from Puja from Rosamila 29.25. So very respectable first 200 from these women. They look to be moving faster than that second heat, maybe on par with what we saw in the first heat.
Bit of a different style from the Kenyan athlete. A rocking arm movement she's got there. A little bit different to the Indian athlete in the back of her. Indian athlete just happy to sit and wait until the bell. Let's see what happens when we get the bell. It rings. It's 1 minute flat. Nothing happening yet. They're still biding their time here, happy to let Chebet take the pace here. From Puja, someone's going to make a move in a minute, otherwise Chebet may. Just get away from the rest of the field.
Chebet doing really well here, but she's going to come under pressure from Rosamilia. You can see Rosamilia moving around on the outside, as is the Mexican Rangel Bateras as they come up to 600 metres to go. Puja doing well to stick there on the inside. 1:34.50. They've slowed a little bit in that third 200, and you can see the effect on the field. They've bunched, but they're kicking now. Keep your eye on the Canadian Avery Pearson. She's only raced twice this year. A season disrupt. by the pandemic, but she looks fresh and full of running. Ross Amelia sees the threat from the Canadian on the outside. She's looking round, am I in the top three? But Pearson strikes for home, striding away. Pearson looking strong. Avery Pearson, kinesiology student, Canadian under-20 champion, running fantastically in this opening round. It's going to be round about her personal best. Just 2:08 for the win there. Ross Amelia in second. And Rangel Bateras of Mexico coming through for third. So it looked fast in that first lap, but it was a controlled second lap there from that field. An automatic qualification for those top three, but it is going to get tight for those non-automatic qualification spots.
Pearson then overjoyed that she got the victory. After only running twice this year. That's not, guys, something that you should take home. You should run more races. And that probably, if you want to be a champion, but so great because she may have came into this a little bit nervous then if she hadn't had too many races under her belt to compare, but really controlled. She looks strong. I mean, it was only, you know, a 2-8. I say only because these girls are going to run much faster as the rounds progress. We saw a 2-2 already in the first heat, but really great running from all these athletes. Chebet then taking the early lead from Pooja, the Indian athlete. Ross Amelia, really tall athlete, really strong looking athlete as well. She looked controlled. I think she'll have something extra as the rounds progress. Didn't really seem to test her, and she knows it's the top three, so has the experience there. Selena Bouchel, I think she says, you know, she's raced against her. She's a really experienced indoor athlete especially, so, you know, she'll know how these rounds work. She's looking around a bit there as she approaches this home straight. She goes, I don't really have to push no one. One's really coming to challenge me now, so I can just look around and go, I'll let Pearson go and save myself for the semis.
No, right, Ross Amelia, she'll have experience in these age group rounds, and you can see that experience coming through, but perhaps Avery Pearson going, I haven't had many races, I want to have a go, I want to stretch my legs, see what's there. And Rangel Bateras of Mexico doing really well out of that group to come out as third for that automatic qualifying spot. We have a look at the full results. Rangel Bateras was under pressure. She was in a large group, but she was the one that persevered, held her form, held her composure, and came through for that third place to join Valentina Ross Amelia and Avery Pearson as automatic qualifiers from this third heat.
Shame there for the Indian athlete Pooja. She looked really strong, didn't she? Really faded with the last 200 metres to go. 2:10.66 in the end for Pooja. And Chebet there, again, really struggling as the athletes hit the bell. It was about 2:50 to go. She just could not go with that early pace. 2:12.16 for Chebet, and she has a PB of 2:5 as well, so something didn't go quite right for the Kenyan athlete today.
We're seeing such erratic pacing in these races. These women are really flitting around. The first heat they didn't. Jet Koskai was very even, but the second and third heats have been quite erratically paced, and I think the women are paying for that in that final 200 metres.
Well, back to the javelin throw now in the heptathlon. Third round for the Lithuanian athlete Makobrod. Let's see how she gets on in her third attempt here.
So, mock broad on the runway. Over that 40-metre mark for the Ukrainian. That could be a personal best, 39.32. It's her mark coming into this event. She could have grabbed herself a brand new PB with that throw. And that has been measured, it's come off my system as 40.81 for the Ukrainian. Fantastic personal best, 683 points.
Couple more people out watching today. Obviously, we're not allowed any fans here in the Kasarani Stadium. A couple of the athletes are on the screens, of course, though. Athletes, coaches, coaching staff, I'm going to say. Because obviously you have to be under 19 here. Yes, you are on the big screens and actually being broadcast to quite a lot of countries around the world. Just in case you didn't know, which is great to see. So many countries taking these World Under 20 Championships as well. We love to broadcast these races far and wide, so we get some new fans or continue to inspire the next generation of athletes. Well, this is the fourth heat of the 800-metre women's event. Sabo from Hungary goes in 8. Then we have the athlete from Ukraine, Svitolina Zuzec, in 7.24.02, her PB. Martinez of Spain goes in 6. She decided to do the 1,500 metres at the Euro Under 20 Championship. She came second in that. 7 athletes in this event. In lane 1, Veronika Sadek. She's a really strong relay runner. She didn't start, unfortunately, in the Euro Under 20 Championships, but she's also got a lot of endurance because she's the national champion at 1,500 metres, but dropping down the distance for this event. But Zul Zek then of Ukraine with a 2.4.02 PB. Hundred metres in lanes, of course, until they break. Who is going to want to take this pace? They now know they have the advantage of knowing the other times. So surely this will be faster to make sure they can get as many athletes through from this heat as possible, because this is the final heat. Sadek then taking it out. But Zulek then now hitting the front with 200 metres in 30.27 again. Slow in this heat. I thought they'd take the pace, but maybe the athlete at the front, Zulek, their nose. She has the speed. She does. A 2.4 athlete here. 56 is her PB for 400 metres, so can turn on the pace when she needs to.
And Zulchek here for me. She's done well to go into the lead. Sadek did get it going. She got them through that 200 in that 30 seconds, but it was. And Zulchek was keen to keep this moving. 62. It's not as fast as we've seen in some of the other races, but it could be fast enough. Your non-automatic qualifying spots at the moment. Pooja is the fourth of those in 2:10.66. So anything under 2:10 would get these ladies into the semi-final on Friday evening. Zulcek in the lead still with Sadek for company, but it's all to fight for in this final 250 metres. 3 automatic qualifying spots, and anyone under 2:10 might have a chance of making that semi-final.
All these 5 athletes could potentially go through if they really put some pace. Now Martinez, the Spanish athlete in third, she will go through automatically if she holds this position. But we do have the South African athlete Habolshi. She's trying to hang on to these leading through. Can't quite at the moment. Can she find something in the last 100 metres? But it is Zulcek from Sadek and Martinez. They're your top 3 at the moment. Martinez looks around 1500 metre specialist as well. She's got the strength. She's going to overhaul. Sadek on the line, but Zulcek gets this victory easy. (2:07.64). Not the slowest heat, but definitely not the fastest either. So 2:07.54 for Zulcek. Sadek goes (2:08.16). Martinez 2:08.18. Automatically, those 3 will qualify for the semi-final. Have to wait and see. 2:09.38. Fast enough. For Szabo.
I think it may be, but Zulcek and Martinez, how lucky are we to have the silver medalist from the 800 and the 1500 in the recent European Junior Championships in one race, and they both looked very comfortable navigating those rounds, as did Sadek. She's done some relays, but if she didn't have that experience of the European Junior Championships earlier in the year, you can't tell, because she navigated that round very well as well. But Zulcek happy to take up the running, leading gun to tape. It's that third 200 again for me, just slowed up. I think a lot of these races have come through the bell, through that 400 in a good pace. But it was only Sheila Jatkowski guy in the first round that kept it moving in that first heat. She kept it moving through that third 200. All the other races have slowed and then kicked again, and that has really broken the field apart. You can see Martinez, Sadek and Zulchik, the only athletes that could deal with that acceleration of pace in the last 200, and they're rewarded with those automatic qualifying spots from this fourth and final heat. And we'll wait to see the non-automatic qualifying people.
There goes, all check then on your screens. Comfortable victory for her. 2.76.1 for Ukraine in one. The Spanish athlete Marina Martinez 2.8.21 for second. Slovenian athlete Veronika Sadek 2.8.34 automatically qualifies. 2 PBs in that one. Toga 2.28.07. And Yaha 2.31.55 PB as well. It's great running. Habolshi 2.11.65 might be in with a shot. Zabo 2.9.39. Hungarian athlete will be tentatively waiting on the sidelines. Is she making it through to those semi-finals?
We are coming to the conclusion of this women's javelin throw in the heptathlon. Enuk on the runway at the moment. She's in silver medal position. She's had a decent javelin throw so far. Not up at her personal best of 46.10, but she's still got time. This is the third and final round for Pippi Enuk. Pippi Enuk, the birthday girl. That's what we should call her for the rest of the day. Over 40 metres. That's a great throw. Great throw from the Estonian athlete, looking for Estonia's first ever medal in the World Junior Heptathlon. That would make it a doubly good birthday present for her, and getting herself in the history books for her country. Pippi Enuk there. 41.11 from this round, so just a centimetre short of her best throw, so 44.12 will be her best throw. And here we see Suj taking her final throw. Personal best already, 43.05 for Sabina Suj. She's delighted with that. Can she add a little bit more in this final round? Suj negotiating that well.
Welcome to day 2 of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships from Nairobi, Kenya. Postponed for a year, this is the second biggest athletics event on the calendar. And all the action yesterday set the standard of what to expect. Then we're all in for a big treat over the next 4 days. Well, this year is the first time that an African country will be hosting these championships, which are taking place around 1,600 metres above sea level in Nairobi, the capital of Kenya, which also played host to the World Under-18 Championships back in 2017. Nairobi is a city which prides itself on a vibrant athletics history, a population that loves track and field, and a city where wildlife really does take centre stage. This is because only 25 kilometres away from the Moi International Sports Centre, where the athletes are competing, is this, the Nairobi National Park, featuring a backdrop of the city skyline. It's home to the famous Big Five and is one of the most successful sanctuaries for black rhinos in the world. I'm sure many of the athletes would love to head out to one of the many national parks and experience the beauty of this country firsthand. The Kasarani Stadium at the Moi International Sports Centre, where all the action is happening, at capacity can hold 60,000 fans, and we saw that in full effect here at the World Under-18s in 2017. No fans this time, but myself, Rachel Stringer, and my co-commentator, former World 1500 metre silver medalist Hannah England, are on hand to bring you all the action. But here's how it unfolded yesterday. The first field event, women's pole vault, where South Africa coming out on top here with Mia Reinsdorf vaulting an area under 20 record of 4:15. France took silver with Ellie Roos, and bronze went to Canada's Heather Abadi in 4:05. The women's 100 metre semi-final producing some cracking runs, but it was Jamaica's Tina Clayton, who won her semi-final in the fastest time overall of 11:34. Can she defend Jamaica? His title from 2018. Now on to the men's. Letsil Tobogo from Botswana stole the show with a super fast clocking of 10:10. Could Adam Jamili's championship record from 2012 be under threat later this evening? Some firsts in the World Under-20 Championships. The fans' new favourite event, the mixed 4x400 metre relay, making its debut in this edition, proved as entertaining as we all expected. Nigeria setting the pace in the heat. With a championship record and going one better in the final with another championship record of 3:19.7 and the gold medal, their first under-20 gold since 2008. Yesterday's medal went to the relay quartet of Johnson and Mammy. Imabong Uko, Openyemioki, Bamadeli Ajayi. followed by Poland, becoming regulars on the mixed 4x400 metre podium. At major events, they took the silver with 3:19.8. And it was India who came for a medal, going away with a bronze with a time of 3:20.6. I'm sure this event will prove to be a regular at under 20 events going forward. The final events on track on day one ended with a first, this time in the men's 3,000 metre final. The fastest in the field, Ethiopia's Tedesi Worku, played game to the rest of the field for a few laps before putting his stamp on the race and putting the accelerator down and running away from the rest. Only his teammate Abdul Mani could go with him, but even he couldn't live with Worku's last 100 metre surge. It ended Ethiopia 1-2 for Worku and Ali Abdulmani, with Eritrea taking the final podium spot with Habdom Samuel in bronze. Well, Hannah, let's talk about all the action on day two then. Some exciting events coming up, but let's draw our attention now to the women's heptathlon. We start on day two with these ladies. We're going to start with the long jump. It was very exciting yesterday, wasn't it, Hannah?
It was a really good day yesterday, and you can see the ladies getting ready in the core room for the long jump this morning. Sophie Kreiner there of Austria, vying for an Austrian medal. They've got Sarah Lager, got first in 2016, second in 2018. I think Sophie Kreiner will be looking to emulate her compatriots' performances there. And Valerie Rukabord coming back from 2 PBs yesterday. We've had some great PBs in this field already today. So I'm sure they'll be looking for a few more in their final 3 events.
And we saw there as well, 15 degrees and cloudy, similar conditions to what we saw yesterday as well.